coming at you.
Welcome back, everybody. Infinite Weekend Podcasts. I'm Zach, your host, with Josh.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
No third today.
No third today. We are just gonna duo today.
Just doing it old school. We couldn't get anybody.
I don't think that's actually true. Hold on a
Why
second.
didn't we have a third this week?
Well, because for one, we didn't get to record yesterday because we're coming at you on a Sunday. Normally we record on Saturday. I had work come up, so I had to work late, and we just didn't get a chance. So today, I didn't want to bug anybody, honestly, today on a Sunday. Let everybody kind of do their family stuff. So, and I didn't want to short notice on anyone. So, plus G-Man had to work. So, he's a fireman. He's doing big things. So
Saving babies,
kitty
burning buildings,
cats from trees. So I actually asked him if they've got a cat out of a tree.
Yeah,
I don't think he has. He saved kids, but he hasn't done the cat out of the tree.
I imagine they just like sit around and like play cards and work out.
I did go to one of their stations one day when I worked in that area, and we pulled up for something, and they were playing ping pong.
That's what I'm saying. They're just playing recreational sports.
But I'm not one to bitch about it because when I call, they show up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what do you want them to be doing?
Right.
But he's on a different section. He does like heavy, like, actually, I think I call it like a special operations group. It's pretty sweet.
Right.
I won't divulge all the shit they do just because he could tell it better than I could. But they do some cool shit. That day he sent us a video on the fan boat, and he was like, "What's up, guys?" It's like a Tuesday. We're all like, we all hate you that we're sitting behind these desks right now, and you're on a fucking fan boat.
Right.
So it is cool. He does some cool shit, but he's not on. So
yeah, and firefighters don't get paid very much. But like you say, you go up to them, they always seem like they're in a good mood and they're just having fun and doing their thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you like walked up on like a group of teachers, they're like grading papers and whining.
Of course,
so.
of course, we had to go that route.
Just
all of our teacher listeners. I tell you, what's gonna happen?
On purpose now.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna find our location where we record, and there's gonna be a damn picketing group out front.
I'm gonna get canceled.
Yeah. They're gonna have like lawn chairs and shit, and umbrellas waiting on you.
I set that one up for myself. I just wanted to. At this point, I'm doing it on purpose.
We do have a listener that wants to be on here just to argue with you. So we may have to set that up in the future. Maybe do a subscribe and pay your little fee, and then we'll have like a almost like a celebrity death match set up.
Yeah,
or just a 30-minute rant.
Could do that.
Just let it go.
Could do that. We'll do like a little debate. You could be the moderator. We both get 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes to rebut.
It'd be so informal.
It would, yeah. Oh yeah. It would probably have to be not in the same room because I feel like any teacher that came on and would debate me, I would probably end up pissing them off.
I bet you probably wouldn't, to be honest.
I probably would.
Depends on who it was.
It does depend who it is.
Depends on who it was.
Because I've been told in the past whenever I am in a conversation or discussion, I wouldn't say debate, but I wouldn't even say an argument, but just kind of a back and forth with somebody that I disagree with. I've been told that I come across sometimes as really condescending.
An asshole.
Right? But I'm not. I don't mean to be. I'm just. Whenever I'm having a discussion, I kind of enjoy it. Whenever it's not argumentative, but it's we're disagreeing. We're trying to. I feel like we're trying to get to the bottom of something. We're trying to. To me, whenever I'm having an argument or a discussion with somebody I disagree with, it's like we're both trying to get to where we find common ground. I guess we're trying to get to boil it down to its base elements. I guess. And so I find it is kind of stimulating, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But not everybody's that way.
That's the investigator coming out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so not everybody enjoys that, and they feel like they're like it's like a win or lose kind of thing. And if they, I don't know, I feel like it turns abrasive sometimes really quickly. And all of a sudden they'll like blow up, and I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? We're just having a conversation, chill out. But I forget
they see it as a hate crime.
Right, exactly. So yeah. Because I enjoy that kind of shit. So, but most people don't like to have disagreements with people, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like it.
This confrontation makes most people uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I intentionally like confrontation because I actually do avoid confrontation. But when it comes to like a discussion, I enjoys it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
So yeah, we'll definitely have more. We actually have some pretty big. I think a pretty big guest coming up next month. We'll do. That's going to be a good one. I'm pretty excited about that.
I already forgot.
I haven't got the location, had it out yet, but I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We need to put it out there in the ether. Maybe if anybody else, wants to be on or on the podcast, or thinks of somebody that they know that would like to be on the podcast.
I do have another person too that they just started a new podcast, the Feral Ferals. Yep, their shows they've got 2 episodes out. They're doing a really good job. I talked to her today, so might have to do some sort of collab in the future with them.
Collab.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting term.
Yep, she reached out as well. She's a big fan of the show. They support us a lot, so it's exciting.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we'll definitely do something in the future. I would like to do that, and then if anybody, DM me or DM Zach or whoever, or message the show if you are interested in coming on, hang out with us, or depending on who you are, we'll let you know if it's cool or not.
What does that mean?
I'm not gonna let just anybody come on hang out with us. Sorry, it don't work that way.
There'll be a vetting process.
You can't.
And vetting I'm going to check out your Instagram or your socials
Right.
and be like, oh, this doesn't look like a freak that's going to steal my underwear or whatever.
Or we'll go by if you're not attractive, you're not coming on.
There you go.
You gotta have a face for podcasting,
Right.
We're just gonna.
Yeah, I can't have you sitting across from me trying to do a podcast and you look busted. It's going to be distracting. Right.
Yeah, it's like.
Right.
Speaking of gross and stuff, I did post out that you were signing up for Love Is Blind.
What was that segue? Speaking of gross stuff?
I didn't say gross. Did I say gross stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say gross
Okay.
stuff. Well, I meant sometimes you never watch that show. Sometimes it's kind of like, ugh.
Okay.
I just meant speaking of, we were on the subject of unattractive and attractive and all that shit.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. I apologize. Because I'm usually talking shit. So it's
Right. I think that's what it is.
anyways.
Whatever. It's good to know how you truly feel.
That's not true. At all. You know that. Love Is Blind audition, or to sign up to audition for that show.
I also like there's a tacit admission there that whenever you saw Love Is Blind audition, you're like, oh, this is perfect for Zach because they can't see him.
That's actually not what I thought at all. I wish I would have thought that now because that would have been hilarious. No, the reason I thought it is because we're always picking because the Ring social experiment.
Yeah.
That's another social experiment. But I'm like, just think of the exposure our show could get.
Yeah, dude.
I was being selfish.
So ever since that Ring thing, and we've talked about it on the podcast, there was a buddy of mine sent in the group this guy that has hats that says I'm single.
Yeah.
Right. And he was at the gym. And he's talking about how he had this when the girl saw the hat, and he was like, "Ooh, whatever," and "Oh, you like the hat?" And she asked him about the hat, and but then he didn't follow through and ask her out or whatever, which he's an idiot. So he was gonna make a shirt that says come talk to me or something like that, or approach me or something. So I was gonna say I'm single on his hat, and then on his shirt it's gonna say you can approach or you can ask me out or whatever it was. And they were sending me that shit, and so I ended up saying. My goal, I guess, I'm going to have the ring, I'll wear the hat, I'll have the shirt, I'll be on this show, or I'm going to try to be on this show. My goal is to look as desperate as possible, apparently. Which I stopped wearing the ring, by the way, when I'm during the week.
Why?
Because I'm at work most of the time. It's a pointless thing, right? So I'm wearing this. Also, where my office is right next to all of the linemen, right? The electric linemen. And, I know you've been in that world before, and if they see me walking around, they already call me a fiber fairy.
They call you that?
Our entire group we're called as fiber fairies. So then I'm walking around with a teal colored ring that says "pair" on it. They're gonna rip my no. There's just no way. So I was like, this is pointless.
You tell them that fairy makes a lot more money than they do.
Yeah, right. I don't know. The linemen make a lot of money.
They do.
But electric linemen, by the way. For anybody,
I think we knew what you meant.
And fiber fairy because I work in the telecommunications industry, fiber optic networks.
Big wig,
big words, dork. Yeah, no, it's really not as cool as it sounds. Actually, it doesn't sound cool at all, but
it really doesn't.
It's not as fancy as it sounds, I guess. But yeah, I was like, this is kind of pointless. The only person outside of work that's going to see it is when I'm through the drive-through line or some shit, I'm picking up a burrito at.
Well, I mean,
Chipotle
we've talked about it quite a few times, but I mean, I like the idea of.
I'm going to wear it when there's going to be a lot of people around or something. I'm going to run into a bunch of people. There's no point at wearing it throughout the week when I'm at work.
Right.
So, I gave up on the ring a little bit, not entirely, just whatever.
I don't think it's a bad social experiment. I think genuinely it's probably a good idea. Now, the hat thing is good. That's pretty cool because it's way easier to spot a ball cap that says single but I don't want to wear one that says married. Then you see like these weird ass hats everywhere. And you're like, I don't know how to sort this shit out.
Yeah, but the point of like wearing the hat, well, I'm single, is that someone would now know, like, oh, he's obviously
of course,
letting everybody know he's single so that he would be approached. But in my head, I immediately was like, okay, I'm going to wear this hat. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
There's like 2 people wearing it. You're like, good luck, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not that way. It depends on the town you're in, community. Event, it'd be better for events or parties.
Yeah, it's a funny
It's got to be a
gag
social thing.
Right.
Yeah, you can't just do it going to the grocery store because then you look weird.
I thought about doing this. I still want to do this, but I want to find some of the most ridiculous shirts that I could find and start wearing them at the gym.
Oh, like the one with like, I actually looked up shirts with like the unicorns or the horses, like on this majestic rainbow.
Yeah.
I was actually going to get some of those for us to record
Right.
in.
I want to find some of the most ridiculous shirts where people, when you see it, you have to like double take. Like, what the fuck?
I like that.
I want to start wearing that to the gym. So I'm going to look online and try to find some of the most ridiculous shirts or something I can think. I need to you have a contact for like the screen printer or whatever that can make some like shirts, not like a bunch of shirts, but just like one-offs. I'm sure which would probably be expensive.
I do know people.
Okay. That way, because I
side.
might have some ideas for shirts, and then I might
do
some one-offs.
Kylie's got a Cricut machine.
Oh, that's true.
We can do coffee. I like the idea of funny coffee cup. Those are my favorites. But yeah, she can do all that shit. We can figure.
She can do it on shirts.
We'll get with that. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Because that'd be fun. But anyway,
We got some mock-ups.
Love is Blind. I started to do my application.
Yep, I think it's important
to be on this show. They're doing auditions in Nashville. I don't know when
I'm gonna look right now.
Due.
Let's look.
But I need to get back into it because I ended up getting frustrated because I couldn't upload a fucking picture. They actually had to you actually had to do like a video. So I recorded a video of like basically why you want to be on the show or something like that. I think was the question. And they wanted you to do a short video of, why are you wanting to do this show. And I think mine was like 15 seconds. And I was like basically like the whole dating in 2023 is shitty. It's all online and it's just too much. And it
doesn't say when it's going to be over. I think you have time.
Nothing's organic anymore or anything like that. It's all everybody's dating profile is if it's produced and filtered and there's nothing. I don't know. It's just I don't like it. I've never liked it.
Well,
and I'm never. You know this already. I'm not big. I hate first dates anyway.
Right.
And I feel like I don't know the dating apps just make it worse because we talked about this.
Okay, so you can still sign up online, so it's still open.
Yeah, this thing is still open. So anyway, I was doing it, and then there was a problem with uploading some pictures because they wanted a picture with no hat, no glasses, profile picture, and I don't really have any of those. Like, every time I'm pictures taken of me, I'm wearing either glasses or a hat.
Right.
So I was like, fuck. So
I'm actually
and they wanted the question also asked is like your best picture because they wanted to see what you look.
Yeah,
really
sure,
look like.
of course.
And of course, there's a bunch of pictures of me being goofy and whatever.
I'm looking at questions right now from here.
Yeah. And then there was another one where they wanted a full body shot, I guess, to make sure I wasn't 300 pounds or whatever.
It doesn't matter because I saw a big old bitch on there last one of the seasons.
Okay.
I love that show. Do you want children in the future? What are your hobbies?
Yeah, it's all kind of standard stuff.
Please take a moment to briefly describe your dating history. What's the longest relationship you've ever been in?
That
the
one,
shortest.
That one, when I was going through those, I've really only had.
This one's good.
What was that one?
What's your current dating life like?
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
It's obviously not good because I'm on this show.
Exactly. And so I answered those honestly. And when I was filling the whole thing out, I'm going to have to redo the whole thing now again.
So funny.
Because I closed out and it didn't save. So, yeah, dude, when I was reading that thing, when I was answering those questions, first of all, I was like, am I like an interesting enough dude to want to be on the show?
100%.
But then I was going through this and I'm like the perfect fucking candidate for this goddamn show.
It'd be hysterical.
Because I've barely dated anybody. The only relationship that I've had was like 2 years and it was ages ago.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know what I'm unlucky in this arena.
Well,
we'll put it this way.
I like how that one's funny, but I like what it says. Question 24. Why do you think you are single?
Right. I answered that one honestly too. I answered that one the way I've been.
Dude,
someone has told me the reason why, and I basically repeated what they said. I'm not.
Can you? You don't want to go on the show and tell us? Okay.
You have to wait for the show.
Okay. Why are you a catch? These are weird.
Yeah, that one's a
because
weird
you don't
one
want to
too.
be, you don't want to sound like a dick, but you want to be interesting enough to be considered on the TV show.
I think I said something like, I don't know.
Because I have a job.
I have a job. My dick works.
What are you currently? Where are you currently meeting potential mates? What?
Yeah. Also,
You should put.
I put pumpkin patches in farmers markets and
Actually, it's not a bad. Amish communities.
right Amish communities.
I like a challenge.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on the dating scene in your city? Thoughts on dating apps? This is
That one, the dating app. My thoughts on dating in your city? I said I said it sucks because it's all couples. They're either couples too young, or it's military dudes. Like it's just too many dudes. Too many dudes around in close.
This is how they get people too. Is what is the most difficult situation you've had to overcome? They like to get that drama bullshit on TV because we all can't help it. We like to listen. So what has been missing emotionally from previous relationships?
I don't remember what I answered for that one.
Why is marriage important to you?
I think maybe I said basic. Like when I enlisted, that was tough.
Did you put? What do you think about falling in love and getting engaged sight unseen? Nervous?
I answered that one. I was like, terrifying. And if anybody says any different, they're an idiot.
They're lying.
Yeah, they're lying. I think that's exactly what I said. They're lying.
Because I follow all the couples on Instagram from last season that I liked, and it's like I still follow. I don't know if you ever watched Marriage at First Sight.
Well, see, I didn't know how the show worked when I was doing this application.
Okay.
And then I came across that question. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh, you should have told me. I've watched.
I didn't know. I thought it was just like
it's
a dating
good.
thing, and then I didn't know that you had to get engaged before you could see them.
It's purely entertaining to watch the couples that you know are not going to work out, and how like toxic it can really be.
Fucking hey.
And then some of them like they would meet in those little carpet area, like where they see each other the first time because they've already proposed.
Yeah.
You can tell if they're both attractive people. They're going to have some chemistry just because it's two attractive people. Like you,
Yes.
There's going to be some, even if they both fake it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some. But I've seen also where it's.
I can tell you
awkward.
right now how if I actually was on this show, there is no way I would ever see what she looked like because there's no way I would ever sight unseen commit to a relationship.
That's part of the show.
I know, I get it, but I'm saying I would be the one that would back out.
You can back out. You
That's
can
what I'm
get
saying.
engaged and be like,
I would be the guy that would back out on the show.
but
I'm
you
sure
can
there's
also
people who've
get
done that, right?
You can fake it and get a free trip to wherever for a month, like 3 weeks.
Oh, just a fake. Well, I guess if it's an engagement, it's not like you're married. It's just an engagement.
No, you have to decide though. After you have to do your honeymoon, and then you have
So
to.
you do get married.
Oh, yes. No, that's a lie. You're engaged, and then you go on
on a
your
trip.
stuff. You do a trip together to celebrate your engagement.
Okay.
Then you come back, and you have so many weeks. But if you're gonna, and then you basically show up at the altar. Either you show up, you both go up. One of you says, "I do." If you both say "I do," great. And somebody can be like, "I don't want to get married," and then you're out in front of everybody.
Okay, that makes it a little different.
It's
So
yeah, but you are engaged though. Like you go to.
does the guy always have to ask the girl?
No.
So
It can be
sometimes
both.
a girl asks
I
the
think
guy.
there was an episode where a girl asked. Most of the time, traditionally, it's going to be the guy asking.
Yeah, of course.
But you're basically dating
I need to
people
watch this
you've never
fucking
seen.
show.
It's addictive.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's super addictive.
Okay.
Only one I didn't watch.
You know I'm
was
not big on reality shows.
I know you're not,
so
but this one,
if I'm going to be on this, I need to probably at least
you need to check it out. It's cool.
watch it.
The only one I'm not watching right now is the gay one. There's like one where that didn't really show any interest for me. But anyways, the Love Is Blind, those first couple seasons are cool. I really enjoyed it, and it's drama. It's you can't help it. It's like Bachelor and all that
Junk
stuff.
food for your brain.
But yes, I guess you did all this. Like it's not a massive question.
Yeah, it was I just got hung up on trying to add those photos.
Well, it's kind of weird how they make you
wouldn't
upload it.
Yeah, so I was trying to take a selfie with my
So
phone
you do a JPEG,
and upload it,
and then-
if it wouldn't. My phone wouldn't take a fucking JPEG. It kept saving as some other fucking format.
15-second
goofy.
video is all you get.
Yeah, 15 seconds. So I got it in. I mean, 15 seconds is.
You need to do this,
kind of
even because I mean they don't pick. I don't know how many applicants they'll get, but if it's just the Nashville area, dude, you could just with some of your
How many seasons of the show do they have already?
Let me look. I'll tell you. Let's see. Was it Love Is Blind? Is that right?
Because I mean, this is super popular. There's probably going to be thousands of applicants, I would imagine.
Out of Nashville, though?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you didn't know about it until I said so. I follow Love Is Blind on.
I suppose that's true.
Let me look. Seasons. I think there's 4 seasons right now.
Okay,
They're good.
so it's not a brand new show.
It's not massive.
It's not
good.
huge.
Came out in 2020.
It is on Netflix. Netflix has got so many eyeballs.
Dude, it's
So I imagine there's probably going to be a lot of
get on
people.
there and get our show on there. Just walk and be like, I don't want to marry any of you bitches. Infinite Weekend Podcast. Bye. I'm here for the clout. And then just leave. Dude, some guy got on there one episode and was like, so, I want to take you shopping sometime. What size dress you wear? Trying to figure out if she's
clever.
big or not. And they were just like, I'm not answering that. I'm like,
Was that the one I've also seen videos? Maybe this is probably not the same show because they're not in the same room, right? They're separate. They
so the
never
women
touch.
are in one room and the men are another, like their own dormitory type thing.
Because I've seen some stuff on Instagram where another guy did this basically the same thing. They're blindfolded and they have to ask each other questions.
Is that the one
with the buzzer in the middle or whatever?
That's right. I've seen
and he
that.
asked if he could give her a hug. And so he hugged her and it was like, whoa! Buzzer. Right? And then as soon as it sat down, he buzzed her because he could barely get his arms around her. So he was
out,
like,
bitch.
That was smart. That was real smart.
I saw that. I don't blame him.
Yeah, dude.
So you're into what you're
You know
into.
what? Women can bitch and complain as much as they want about us being like
Short.
superficial or whatever,
Yeah.
and all that bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is in our nature. It is what it is. Like some guys like bigger women or whatever, but most guys don't like a woman that is 300 fucking pounds. I'm sorry.
Well, she was like obese. Like
Right,
it's
that's what I'm
different
saying.
between being thicker and there's obese.
Yeah, that's
like,
different.
It's different.
That's different. But if you're
Let's clarify.
if you're in the obese category, which doctors would say like obese is like, I would be considered obese.
Yeah, your BMI,
right?
Like,
but
even my weight for my height, I bet my BMI would say that
you're on the edge, right, of being
but
obese.
so I don't-
but we're not talking about medical obese. We're talking about like
visual obese.
visual obesity.
We're talking about the important chart.
Right, exactly. Social obesity.
That's right.
Not the scientific obesity.
But if you think you would go through it if you really met somebody like purely personality, like if you're like, holy shit, this person is. Because think of it this way:
You got to look at him forever.
if you know going into it though, if it's just going to be an engage right away, you can back out.
Yeah,
you can back out the entire
it's
time.
It's different than that other show where it was
Love
Married
is-
at First Sight. That's different.
That was
You're married.
awkward.
That's whatever. But the engagement, yeah, you could always break it off.
You can.
So knowing that, I would go through with it. Would I feel compelled to propose to a woman that I've never seen, just talked to?
Well,
We'd have to just fucking click. I don't know.
Some of them do.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the couples I follow really did. They're still together. Like some of them really just. You're like, why have you two never found each other? Like there was a particular couple. I don't remember their names. I follow them, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But they were both middle-aged 30s, almost 40s. Both career successful, no children. Like two, I mean, really obviously attractive people. But like they just immediately clicked. I mean, immediately. Like it. You could have swore they've been together for years.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, and they were both kind of the same thing you said. It's just like, dude, the dating apps, like I've done all this stuff. Now, obviously they're going to get there's going to be money involved. There's some exposure for them as well. Like you're going to get sponsorships and deals on Insta. Like there's stuff that follows along with being on the show. Obviously they're not going to be like, I'm here for the money. Yeah. But there is money. I mean, there is. We're not just doing it to do it, but it's pretty cool watching the ones that actually make it. And then, of course, at the end, you get to figure out, like, my money's on this one or that. And look at them like, I don't. Like, what?
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
The drama would be fun. I mean,
I think it would be cool. Yeah. If you really did it for the right reasons, obviously there's some benefits, but the money, you get paid to be on the episode. There's some stuff that comes along. But
that's another apprehension point for me is the exposure as well. Like, it'd be good for the podcast, but you're fucking out
time
there.
off of work.
Right. And I saw that on those dates, and they asked if you had any conflicts for like February through March or some shit or whatever it is when they're actually going to shoot that. And I was like, yeah, I work fucking full time. What do you like? Who does?
I don't know how. Yeah,
it's like it was literally like 6 weeks, and I'm like, who the fuck has 6 weeks
well,
off?
that's what I'm thinking. Like, who are you going to pull in? Like, that's my thing too.
It's going to have to be like after work, and I'm close enough to Nashville. If they're shooting it in Nashville, which I don't know if they shoot it locally, maybe they're just doing auditions in Nashville. Then I have to like go out to like LA or some shit.
It'll be a lot of. You'll have to like go through a process. I mean, there'll probably be multiple interviews.
Oh, I'm sure. But then actually, say if I did get on the show, I can't. I have a job, and I can't leave this job. I can't. Even if we'll put it this way, I committed whenever I took this job to doing this job because I'm building a thing, right? You know about this. I'm building a fiber network in rural Tennessee. I'm not, even if I like won the lottery, I'm not going to bail on that.
I would.
I wouldn't, because of the people that are involved.
Sure.
I would stick with it. Now, would I put in a fucking 40 hours when I didn't have to. No,
if I hit
I would
that-
just do what I needed to do to build the thing, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
But and you know my boss does listen to the podcast, so but you know
He's a fan.
I honestly I've thought about this because we actually play a lottery pool at work, right, where everybody puts in like $2 or whatever and get lottery tickets. And so if we win amongst all those tickets, then we would split it, whoever put it into the pot. So if we won, then we always play the Powerball. So it's like the fucking almost $1 billion of $900 million.
$776 million was the last night dude won in California.
Right. So I honestly can say this: if we did win, and I had enough money to where it was like I didn't have to work ever again, I would still build this thing because I said that I would.
They asked us at work who would stay if they won that. I said, did you just ask who would stay if they won take-home cash $760 million? Who would stay here?
Yeah.
I was the first one raised my hand and say, hell no.
Yeah.
I said, I'm never coming back.
Now, in previous jobs, yeah, 100%, because I'm not. There's no need for
yeah, I said I will never ever do anything I don't want to do ever again. Right. I'm not going to work for anybody ever again.
Right.
I will have an entourage of my closest friends that will be on my payroll.
100%.
And I will get off all of social media because
100%.
people and the vultures are going to come out. And I'm sorry, I will disappear.
I would do the same exact thing.
So
except for this job, because
my best friends would be on my payroll, and there wouldn't be anything. Sorry,
but so for this show, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I could apply. Say if I get even through the vetting process, I feel like there's going to be a point to where they'll be like, "Well, we need you to fly out to whatever." I'm like, I know I can't. So
Yeah.
even if I do this application and I get through a certain level, there's going to be a point to where I'm never going to end up being on the show. Knowing that, and they don't really tell you like what's the shooting schedule. All they say is, "Do you have any conflicts during this time period?" I'm like, "Well, what do you mean conflicts? Like, is it an all-day thing? Is it weekends during this period of time? Is it like, can I do some of this shit? I don't know how this works." So I've never seen the show, obviously, but I feel like it's something that how long do they engage in back and forth, the men and the women, before they go through the engagement?
It's
like a 6-month period.
It's a little while. It's a couple weeks, I think. It's not a drastic thing. It's not a long, like they're not in there for a couple months. They kind of want you to find it and get out.
Do they live in this house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so some guys live in a house, girls live in a house.
Yes.
And they interact.
They have like date
common
time.
space. Okay.
And then once you get down to like your few that you're interested in, you can meet with them.
Okay.
So you need to watch the show. It breaks it down.
Okay.
Just to get an idea.
If the way I'm picturing it, then there's no way I could be on the show because I'm not going to be able to commit to the time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
And
I don't know how work professionals would have that much time.
That's what I'm saying. Is who has this time off? Unless they just they own their own business or they, because I mean they're not all entrepreneurs and self-employed. Obviously, every time you see on those dating shows, they tell you who the name and they have like the occupation or whatever under their name, and it's regular jobs.
No,
so it's
the
like,
ones
I'm a paralegal. It's like who's fucking letting their paralegal off work for 2 months to go date a dude with 30 other women? You know what I mean? Like, who's doing that?
Exactly.
So I don't. When I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, who are these jobs that are letting people do this kind of shit? This is not normal. This is not average people. So I don't know. So I'm kind of like second guessing the application to do it. It's fun. It sounds like it would be cool, but I just don't think I would actually be able to do it, even if I did get picked and gone through the process. Because of the JOB, I got bills to pay. I got a cat to feed, bro.
That was kind of my. I didn't even really take that into account whenever I sent it. Like put on there, like, yeah, he's gonna go out for it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of dating and relationships, so rumor has it that President Obama is gay.
Yeah. So I saw this.
Have you seen
probably
this shit?
a month ago, and some I want to say whistleblower, but another blower came on there and was like. It was one of those little things on Instagram.
Skin whistle.
It was like, dude was like, claims he like sucked President Obama's dick in the White House, like often.
Right.
And I'm like, people come out of the woodworks, but I'm like, this has been like, he hasn't been president for a while. Like, what is this?
Oh, no.
And then I get in there and there's just like articles and crazy like, yeah, Obama's gay and a part of like some kind of cult, gay cult.
Well, then, like the whole story, apparently there was rumors, and even like Joan Rivers. Remember her? She was the fashionista chick, old as balls. She had like too many facelifts.
Looked ancient
as fuck.
Okay, yeah.
She died not too long, like a few years ago.
Oh, R.I.P.
She like got caught in like a hot mic moment talking about how Obama was gay as fuck.
I did not know that.
And she's also a comedian or semi-comedian. Joan Rivers was, and
I know who that is. Okay,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She made some comments about him being gay, right? So there's always been this like rumor among certain circles, the people that I guess are plugged into the rumor mill with politicians and celebrity elite and everything, of him being gay. Apparently, like even in the Chicago scene, like because that's where he, how he came through. How he rose up through politics was through Chicago. Apparently, rumor has it that there was a bunch of people that he even like they paid off, and they like ruined the reputations of some people that apparently were engaged in sexual relationships with Obama. Like, there's a long, all rumor. None of this is proven, but it's just like rumor after rumor after rumor after rumor. And then now there's like a story that came out to where there, I think it was an ex of Obama's, or like be a friend or whatever. He wrote he wrote something somewhere down where he apparently told told somebody that he has imaginary relationships with men all the time, daily. It's like he has relationships with dude, but only in his imagination on a daily basis. I'm like, that means you're gay, bruh. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, who admits that? Apparently, so that's apparently like accurate. Like, that is a thing that is happening. Is that he is having imaginary relationships with dudes.
This is Obama having these?
Obama banging dudes in his brain only, in his imagination.
That's rough.
Or maybe dudes banging him. I don't fucking know. You know? I mean, he was the president of the United States, so I figured he's a top.
Well, who gets... like, I just don't know why you all of a sudden conform. By the way, I blew the president a lot.
Right.
And it's just like...
So far, there's only one confirmed case of someone admitting or making the claim that they blew the president in the White House, and we know for a fact that that's true, and that's Monica Lewinsky blew Bill Clinton in the White House. We know that for a fact.
But nobody was mad at him about it.
Right. But you can't tell me that was the only instance of somebody sucking off the president in the Oval Office, or in the White House, period. You know there's got to be others.
I just couldn't.
Right?
But what was the thing you had told me where he was a part of some cult? What was it?
So the story is that in Chicago, he was part of a gay men's club in Chicago called Man's Country. And his nickname was Bathhouse Barry, which means he was banging dudes in the bathhouse.
It's not a great nickname.
No, that's one.
Like a hammer, something cool.
Well, he used to call himself Barry back in the day because it made him sound more, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
White, I guess. I don't know. Obama just, or Barack was not, probably didn't play well with the white folk, I'm guessing, in the country clubs. Yeah. And so he went by Barry back in the day. And this is how he admits it. He in his memoirs or whatever, he called himself Barry. Oh, okay. So this is not some rumor. Obama used to call himself Barry. And then we came into, I think when he became a senator in Chicago, a state senator or something like that, or maybe it was a senator of Illinois, that he changed it, started calling himself Barack for politics.
Okay.
But like in college and stuff, it was Barry. But I'm inclined to believe it, because I mean, if you ever looked at like Obama, his mannerisms, he kind of presents himself a little. He's not a very manly dude.
I will say I wasn't a huge fan of him being president, but I will say he is a charismatic. Like, I like his interviews post presidency.
Yeah.
Like he just has like a charisma about him. He's a younger guy.
Personally, everybody.
He just seems like a down to earth,
very high approval rate.
He's just cool. He just seems like a cool guy. Right. I've never hung out with him, but
probably likes dudes.
He likes dudes.
So that's fine. I mean, if you see Michelle, that's a very muscular woman.
That's a big lady.
You know what I'm saying? She got a strong back. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Well, that's the other rumor. I don't think this is true, but the conspiracy theory out there is that Michelle Obama is actually a dude, is actually trans.
Oh my gosh.
And is actually a dude, and still has a dick. And that's the conspiracy theory. I don't believe that's true, but apparently I also don't know if this is true, but it has gone around. Apparently there are no verifiable pictures of Michelle Obama pregnant.
I've never looked into it.
Me neither.
But
I've heard people talk about that before. It was like they can't find a picture of her pregnant. Now she has 2 kids, supposedly, allegedly. You would think someone in public life, there would be some pictures that leaked at some point somewhere of her pregnant, having had 2 kids.
I would think.
Right? You would think.
You would think. I don't know.
I mean, that's weird, though. I mean, I don't. I think she's a woman. Let me just be perfectly clear. I think she's a woman. It is weird that there are no pictures of her pregnant that anybody in the public has seen.
I guess I never really thought about it.
Is that weird? Don't you think that? I feel like that's weird. Why would they?
Yes and no. Like I don't.
I mean, I'm sure she's she's just the
it,
wife of a politician.
They may have kept it
private.
You can dress a certain way.
Sure.
You can do certain clothes that don't reveal. She may not shown a whole lot. I
don't
know.
Those pictures maybe exist. I just never seen them.
I haven't either.
I'm just saying.
Hell, she could be 6 months and just be gifted.
Right.
You won't be able to see it. I don't know. But him getting blown, probably.
That I believe more than Michelle being big.
It's like when people say they're cloned. This whole weird thing going around with presidents.
Well, they say that about Biden too. They'll analyze like his earlobes, and apparently your earlobes are either connected or they're not. And the old Biden had disconnected earlobes, and new Biden has connected earlobes.
To me, that just sounds like pure boredom. Someone is bored.
I know.
I never pay attention to the man that much.
No,
can't understand anything he's saying. I don't look at his ears.
But I mean, what if it's true? What if they needed a Manchurian Candidate, right?
Is that a good movie?
Yeah, it's wild.
I've never seen it.
You should see it.
Okay.
But they they needed someone that they could control, and obviously, and so they swapped him out at some point with a doppelganger. They did some surgeries and shit. Like, why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Could they?
Worked in G.I. Joe.
Could they get away? Could they get away with it? Is what I'm saying.
Probably. You would never know.
Well, like all this corruption stuff that's happening with the Biden family right now, like that shit was going on for years. I think that people will only, if it's just only reported on like these small little outlets, kind of like out there on the internet, everyone can just kind of treat it as just rumor and fake news and conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of it, there's some true threads within some of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just if it's not widely reported by like all the big media places, then the mainstream media, then nobody thinks it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's like, unless it's like this big, huge story, nobody pays attention to it. So that's the reason why, like, I 100% believe that Obama probably been with some dudes.
Tried it out, you think?
You know what I'm saying? There's enough rumor out there, and just looking at the dude, and you look at Michelle, you're like, I think he might have dabbled. He dabbled a little bit.
You can try
dabbled on some dick.
You can try ice
That's all I'm saying.
He may have.
You know? Which I think first of all, who gives a shit?
Oh, I don't care.
I think the controversy, the reason why it would be a big deal is because when he was running the first time, he was not for gay marriage. He was pro traditional marriage. It wasn't until his re-election when he already won, then he switched and was pro gay marriage. So that's the reason why Donald Trump was the first president seeking election for the first time, because Obama was seeking election in 2008, and
it's been a lot.
Right, he was seeking election in was it 2008? Yeah, 2008 was his first run. He was pro traditional marriage. He was not pro gay marriage.
Really,
it wasn't until his re-election in 2012 that he was pro gay marriage. So that's the reason why Donald Trump holds the title of being the firstly elected president to be pro gay marriage.
Okay.
Not Obama.
I didn't know that.
It was Donald Trump. Which, and then they called him a fucking homophobe and racist and all that kind of bullshit.
He hates everybody.
Because he just happened to be on the wrong side of the political spectrum. And he's also abrasive and he says a bunch of wild shit, and I get it. But the stuff that they called him, the worst stuff, racist, homophobe, and all that kind of, you could call him a sexist. Sure, I buy that one. But racist, homophobe, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. The stuff, he's really bad. he treats women terribly. So his opinions of women and how he engages women is probably terrible. So I'll buy the sexist argument, but everything else is bullshit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but I don't want to get into like super politics.
No, but just saying the fact that like he's a part, all these people just come out of nowhere. Like,
I banged
it's like NBA players come out, like these women come out, they're like, I slept with him too. There's like 90 women come forward, they got raped by the same dude.
Right.
After his career takes off.
Yeah.
But like to come out like Obama's just like, I was getting blown, he was blowing me. I'm just like, what?
We
go from UFOs,
yes,
lasers starting fires. Obama sucks dick.
Yes. So what do you think? What do you think? We're going to get into conspiracy theory land. So let's talk about some of the. So that's one conspiracy, is that Obama is banging dudes in the White House. He was getting blown. Right, by dudes. Okay, sure. All right. I think I'm not going to say that one is 100% wrong. I think probably sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Do I care? No, I don't give a fuck.
Not really.
All right, so then the other ones that are floating around right now is that the Maui fires, is it Maui? Yeah, it's Maui.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are not wildfires, that they were actually started by space lasers.
Yeah, so there was
one I don't buy at all.
So, yeah, they said that there was a whole thing with the Canadian fires. Like there was like videos of them starting at the same time.
So that one, I think there's some truth to that one, because if you do look at the satellite imagery, it happens like all at the same time. So I think somebody was starting those.
Yes, but as far as these pictures that are floating around, these videos of an actual, some sort of energy-driven weapon the government has that they happen to pick Maui to incinerate with a orbital laser.
Right.
Why you would if I was going to pick a
Maui?
target, why, you know what I mean? I don't know what but there's all these conspiracies out. People are saying like, well, the mayor wasn't in town and all this stuff. The sirens didn't go off.
And they say like all the celebrities that have places in Hawaii
none of them were touched.
It was all the poor people that got burned.
And then they're like, well, how come the trees didn't burn but the cars got melted? And I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of combustible materials in a vehicle too. So a car being incinerated.
Yeah, and when also
I saw the pictures. Like I've seen car fires that they look just like that after they burn up on the side of the road.
And I looked some of those pictures. That one that guy was talking about why wouldn't the trees be burned up that were in the area? But if you look at it, the reason why is so if a house catches on fire, the fire is going to go to what it can actually get to next, and so it just kind of jumps from house to house to house.
Yeah.
Right, and the cars are generally in people's parking in their driveways or on the street, so it's the closest to the house.
Yeah.
But some of the trees he was talking about, he was saying that we're fine. We're probably not close enough to the actual fire to catch. To me, that just seems logical. It just because they were in the area doesn't mean that and there was fires all around doesn't mean that they would also catch on fire just by being close to it. The fire actually has to touch it and jump to the tree. And so, yeah, of course, there's going to be some stuff that didn't get burned within the burned area. It just depends on where the fire actually was when it was burning.
I'm seeing some of these pictures now. Like it's wild. I mean, but I'm not buying it. Do I think the government has some shit we don't know about? Absolutely, 100%. Yes. I mean, they jerked us around for 2 years, and then we all went retarded. Yes. So, like,
I would say
them having some sort of, but I don't think it's designed for. I wouldn't mind them having this for global security, as far as an asteroid or some sort of real life threatening, but to randomly start fires in cities.
Yes.
I don't think it's an orbital laser. Like, sorry, I'm not buying it. Like,
so
shitty things happen. Like,
there's a movie. When I saw this conspiracy going around about these lasers lighting Maui on fire,
not just fires. They're talking about them starting like tidal waves and other natural disasters.
I've heard about the weather machines or whatever that are creating natural disasters. So when I saw the laser specifically, I just was immediately reminded of a movie in the 80s. It was a Val Kilmer movie called Real Genius. Look this shit up.
All right.
Okay. And it is basically these
real
MIT, like super smart.
1985.
Yep. Super smart college students that are in this program for the Department of Defense to develop a laser. And and they thought they were just developing a laser, right? But then toward the end of the movie, they discovered that actually the laser that they're designing is going to be used on a weapons platform from the air on a supersonic jet or whatever, like in high altitude, almost in orbit, and it would be able to target individuals and just like laser smoke them right in their chair.
Is this good?
And so like they showed a video of like of an example of that being used, and it was like some sort of like South American dictator like sitting out on the cabana and whatever. He's like in a wicker chair, like having some mimosas or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this plane like high altitude is like taking pictures, and it opens up the bay, and the laser just goes, and it just leaves like a burning hole in the wicker chair, just completely incinerates some dude. And it's like, well, we can just take care of despots and dictators from,
This looks like a comedy.
it is a comedy.
Okay,
so
because he's wearing like antenna. This
100%.
looks great.
And it's one of Val Kilmer's like best roles in I love this movie so much. It's great.
I need to watch this.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It also has Uncle Rico in it. When he was younger, he actually lived in the basement of the school, and he was like the super genius, and that nobody knew what happened to him. He just disappeared. And every once in a while, his access to the basement isn't through one of the students' closet. And so all of a sudden he'll just like come into the dorm room, and while this dude's like sleeping, he wakes up and he's like, what the fuck? And he'll go into the guy's closet and then disappear because there's like a hidden hatch or whatever. And so that's like a thread throughout the movie. And then that's the guy it's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
I'll check it out.
It's really good.
Yeah, see,
But that's the premise of the entire show or the movie, is that they're developing the space laser. So when I see the lasers things, that's all I see is this.
Some college kid.
Some college kids designing this laser.
They've been talking about lasers since we were in school.
So yeah, Real Genius, check it out. It's a good movie.
They've been talking about lasers since we were in school. The space station was supposed to have lasers on it. That was the first thing they were going to launch it up when we were in school. Was they're going to put lasers on it to dodge meteorites. I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
Okay. But I don't think it's lasers. I just don't. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just shitty, and I think right now people are looking for anything.
Right, and I also don't think it's climate change. Like, I'm sorry,
not
why is it
fucking
just because
climate change.
it's August and it's just hot outside? There's a fire. It's not like trees just spontaneously combust. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Someone started the fire, and we just haven't found out who it was.
Yeah, we're going to migrate from school shootings and terrible things to fires. Because
same thing happened here in our backyard when Gatlinburg caught on fire. That was an arsonist. Someone started that fire. Fires don't just
Did you ever go and see that?
Unless it was a lightning strike.
We went to Gatlinburg shortly after all that, dude. It was nuts.
And the ones that happen with lightning strikes, the reason why they like get out of control is because the Bureau of Land Management or whatever, whoever's responsible for this, did not take care of the underbrush and actually do controlled burns so that these things don't get out of control.
Right.
That's the reason why you don't really you think lightning strikes don't fucking happen in other parts of the country. Like the reason why there's so many fucking wildfires out in in like California and all those places because they have shitty land management systems. They don't take care of the underbrush. I actually know somebody that down in Georgia that he actually does that. He does controlled burns and gets rid of the underbrush. We have lightning strikes all the time here in the South, but you don't really hear of wildfires in the Southeast. You just don't.
We went to Chattanooga and did whitewater rafting in the Ocoee, and we went and did some trail running in the trucks, and we went through an area that was control burned. It's wild looking, but you can tell it's managed, but it's really I've never seen it before where they do control burns and it's done for a purpose. It's wild looking. I mean, it looks like a lightning strike or a bomb went off, but it's all done strategically for a reason.
Exactly.
And it works. But yeah, that's
right.
I mean,
so when that got and it's because a tree just chilling there by itself on fire is not going to catch the other trees because there's a distance between them.
Sure.
Right? It's what ends up making the fire move throughout a forest is the underbrush that's down on the ground.
Hey, all you're kindling.
It's all the fucking kindling, dude. That shit is like kerosene. It just moves.
Hell's Garrett when we need him.
Right.
To analyze the shit.
That shit is what actually catches, creates these fires and gets out of control. So when I saw those videos of that dude where he's saying like the trees didn't get, because the trees are separated enough from everything else that even if one tree was on fire, there's no guarantee that it's going to catch the tree next to it.
Well, somebody commented too on the comment. I always go to the comments for everything.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I got on there and it was like, dude, they were like, I live in the place that just had one of these and there was trees that we had tons of forest. It was fine and cars melted.
Exactly.
So you're not holding any water with your story.
Right.
I just think right now people are in a heightened state because we have the UFO conspiracies. We have climate. There's a lot of crazy shit that people are saying. I think folks just like to swim in negativity. A little bit.
I think so too.
I think they like to stir it. And I get it. It's entertaining. It really is. To think that we have a laser cannon of some sort or a giant magnifying glass that could incinerate cities.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool as
It's what
shit.
you see in movies.
I would like to see it in action.
It's probably terrifying.
That'd be awesome.
And they just had that dude on, and I'll find the clip. I'll share it on our page. I'll find it and share it. Where that whistleblower worked for the company. He was like, oh, yeah, they have one.
Yeah.
It was an orbital, basically, it's like a giant telescope that just refracts light or whatever and becomes, when you burn ants,
Right.
it's the same thing.
Exactly. And as much as people might posture about like, you know, we shouldn't be dabbling in these weapons and all this kind of stuff, there's a reason why millions of people went to go see Oppenheimer. Is because we like the awe and the spectacle of a giant fucking explosion. Even though the implication is horrendous, we like that stuff. There's a reason why we like fireworks. You know what I mean?
Well, of course.
Who doesn't like a fucking awesome ass
That's
explosion?
why when you're a kid, you have one of those. You have one friend who likes to burn shit.
Right.
They tie firecrackers together or dip them in. Like I get it.
Exactly.
Now seeing it used on Homeland, I don't like it. And I'll say what's shitty. The only thing I've seen that's shitty about this entire, besides people like 100 folks have died from that fire, people jump in the ocean and know where else to go, is that people were talking shit about our president not really doing anything or making an announcement about or saying anything.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
And then they were either way. I'm not gonna get into a full spec on that bullshit, but that was the only thing that I saw. I was like, yeah, that's probably true. But all the rest, I'm like, I'm not buying it.
Well, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, the dude is old as balls. He's on the beach, and like Hawaii is like 4 electoral votes, and it always votes Democrats. So why the fuck? Like, he's got that state on lock.
He's got to send money to Ukraine. We got to get that shit going.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Because
Gay
don't
Obama.
Don't even fucking get me started with that shit.
Even gay Obama would say something nice.
Right. Exactly. Right. He'd pull the dick out of his mouth and be like,
"Hold on a sec, guys."
Make a speech. Right.
It's so weird. What was the name of that place? What did you say it was called?
I kind of like the idea that Obama was gay. You know what I'm saying? Like secretly gay the entire time.
So weird.
You know what I'm
saying? That's like that. We were bringing up earlier about the Love Is Blind.
He should own it, man. He'd be like, "Yeah, I was the first gay president."
And
then he's got it on lock. He's the first gay and black president. He's broke both ceilings.
There was a season of The Bachelor where that dude married that chick, and then like a time after he ended up being gay, I could not stop laughing because I looked at Kyle. I was like, "Could you imagine going on national television, being with that dude, and the whole time he's gay?
Yeah.
You marry him." And then it's like, oh, by the way, I want to date your brother. Like,
I mean,
what?
That's gotta suck. I know people. I know people that's happened to, and that has got that. I know that sucks.
It does, but I couldn't stop laughing.
But it's
crazy.
Sorry,
it's hilarious.
It's
to me.
crazy. I don't know. I also kind of think like that's not something. I don't think that's not something that you discover when you're 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? And you've been married for 15, 20, 30 years, and. Not 30 years because we married at 10, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Right. This is the Oregon Trail.
Right. It's not child brides. But anyway, what I'm saying is that's not something that you're like, oh, turns out I like dudes now. No, there was some
implications.
There were some signs, even if no one knew about it, there were some signs that you had long time ago.
Were you and I the one discussing the whole like those shows that go on like where guy ends up like, I don't know, setting a tree on fire in the backyard, or he ends up being like a murderer, and they're like, I've known that kid for 10 years, and there was no signs of him being that way.
No, there was always
a sign.
There was always signs.
Come on, man. He chopped his dog's head off. There was a sign before this happened.
Even if you didn't see some overt signs, the fact that he was like, it's always like somebody who's like super antisocial and quiet, like that's a sign.
That's a sign.
That's at least a sign. I mean, it's not guaranteed that if you're antisocial and silent and quiet, or whatever, that you're going to be.
If you're an investigator, you're not a murderer,
right? But I'm just saying that is one of the. In retrospect, that is one of the signs.
Yeah, give me a break. Come on, man. Oh, it's like earlier. There was I sent it to the group on the boys on Instagram, but you see that dude or that person collects they do taxidermy, but they take like mice and turn them into like heroic figures.
Oh, it's like that.
The dude
it was like on Dinner for Schmucks.
Yeah, he does that. Like one was like Robin Hood. Dude, it looks legit. Yeah. I was like, I would actually probably put that
That's
on my
actually
desk.
a legit talent.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah. Like when I saw that they did that on Dinner for Schmucks, and that was Steve Carell's talent or whatever,
so hard.
Was making dioramas of taxidermied rats that he'd find on the street and like dress them up, whatever, and make these dioramas. I'm like, that's actually impressive.
He did the Last Supper.
That was pretty good.
He did the Last Supper. I laughed so hard at that.
He had one that was like, what was it? Not Thomas Jefferson, Edison, where he had the kite and with the key and everything, the lightning bolt. Like that was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. So I'm not going to knock him for that. He's not a schmuck. He's talented.
Yeah, he actually made him one.
Yeah.
Because wasn't he trying to pitch the idea? He was trying to pitch it to him for a loan. Is that how he met him?
Was that what it was?
I thought it was.
No, how he met Paul Rudd's character is he almost hit him in the street. Because remember, he was running out to get a mouse that was in the street, and that was dead.
Yeah.
And he wanted to save it before it ran it over. Because,
because he wanted Jesus.
Because he wanted to, he's like, oh, right.
That's the only one he was
to
missing.
smash the dead rat because then it would ruin his diorama, right? He needed a preserved dead rat.
We may get one for our studio.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get one in here just to have. It's like
a rat diorama?
Well, or do like a warrior beaver.
Okay,
they can make me like a Viking beaver.
Well, it's like people. Have you seen people make the jackalopes?
Oh yeah,
Taxidermy
I've seen
jackalopes.
one.
Those
Like
are not
little,
real, but
I've seen them in Gatlinburg. Like when you go to those shops, they have like rain sticks and dream catchers, and they have like
there's always a jackalope.
Always.
Yep. Which anybody that doesn't know what a jackalope is, it's a rabbit with antlers.
Yeah, it's a big ass rabbit with antlers.
Which is fucking stupid. Like they don't exist, but people will make taxidermied.
It's like a Wendigo.
Right, rabbits with antlers on them and call them a jackalope. So. It's so stupid. I kind of wish they were real. You know what I mean?
That'd be terrifying.
Cool. Fucking, you see that thing charging at you?
Actually, be kind of cool. Catch one.
Oh yeah. But anyway, the fuck else? What the fuck else is going on? We go on a wild tangent all the time.
I did take that Enneagram test you told me to take.
Yeah. So I've been. I have had this.
We've
idea.
mentioned it a couple of times on here.
I recently got turned on to the Enneagram types, right? And I used to joke before, I was like, oh, this is like sciencey astrology is basically what it is, right?
Yeah.
More scientific astrology. But personality types are real because psychology is real and people tend to fall in. We're always trying to like put people in boxes, and it's never a perfect fit, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good descriptor of the different types of people. I remember there was one that was the four basic types. It was like erudite, melancholy, and I forget the two others. But there's different ones, and apparently there's also another one that has like 19 types or 17 types or some shit like that. But this one is a nine type personality breakdown, and I think it's pretty accurate. I think. I was noticing a lot of people putting it on their dating profiles and social media and stuff, saying what Enneagram type they are. And I'm like, the fuck is this? What's a 3? What is this? What does that even mean? I don't know what it is. So someone I work with finally like made me do my quiz. They guessed what mine would be, and they were right. And I'm doing the quiz, and then we were reading through it, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty accurate. So I could see some utility in it.
Yeah.
In using it, it's understanding. If you kind of understand the type, if you're engaging with somebody, and you know the type that they are, and you can pretty much, like, I guessed what yours was because I've known you, right? Then you kind of read about them, and that way you can kind of understand their motivations a little bit. So whenever you're in conflict, or say if you're going into business with them, or if you're dating them, right? Then I think it's a good thing to kind of know what their fears are, where they stand, how their personality kind of works. So I think it's got some utility. But I've guessed what yours was. I guess correct. And I wanted you to take the test. So you took the test today.
It was spot on.
Spot on.
You guessed.
So we figured what we would do since
cross-examination.
People listen to the show. We've done 50 episodes now.
51
so
today.
This will be 51. So going into the second half of the road to 100.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you go.
I like that.
Came up with that.
Road to 100.
We figured we would do a personality breakdown so that our audience can understand.
Yeah,
us
where we're
better.
coming from. Yeah,
right?
That's great. Road to 100. That's a good one. You did good there.
Boom. Sometimes they're winners. Okay, so you was gonna pull up mine.
I've got yours already ready to go.
All right. Sorry. So you want to go through mine?
Yeah, let me hit.
Mine.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah.
All right. So I'm a 5.
We're gonna do our own. We're gonna do our own Enneagram is blind.
In looks and personality, I'm a 5.
Yeah, right.
And dick size.
Is that
just all around 5? I'm a 5.
Okay, so you are classified as the investigator, which I think is hilarious. It's spot on, dude, because it was like the intense cerebral type, which after you and Kylie talked today too, while we were eating lunch today, like she even
said
mentioned
it.
it. She said it. perceptive, innovative, secretive, which that's a weird one for me, and isolated.
I've got a secret.
Which the isolation part, not like a weird isolated, but you like your hole in the wall kind of thing.
100%. A hole in the wall.
Let's see, just so we kind of get some stuff.
I like
here.
my little burrow.
I'm just gonna dabble on this. I want to read the whole thing, unless you want me to.
Do you like the
top 5 in brief?
Yeah,
type 5.
Do the brief, basic, fear, desire, and all.
Yeah. So 5s are alert, insightful, and curious, able to concentrate and focus on developing complex ideas and skills, independent, innovative, and inventive.
So fucking nerd.
Says y'all become preoccupied with their thoughts and imaginary constructs.
Overthinking.
They become
100%.
detached, yet high-strung and intense.
I'm not really high-strung. I can be intense.
What is nihilism?
Cynical, like nothing matters, everybody dies, the world's going to end.
I could see that. They typically, this is what Crunk is too. I bet he's a 5.
Crunk is probably a 5.
A loser 5. They typically have problems with this.
5 with bad knees.
Yeah. Basic fear, being useless, helpless, or incapable. Basic desire to be capable and competent.
Right, the opposite.
If you're with a 4 wing.
Yeah, so whatever your type is, you also kind of bleed into the others either below or above you.
What's that word right there? I'm going to say that wrong. The INC word right there.
Iconoclast.
Damn, it's a big one.
The iconoclast.
I can't read good. What is that?
The iconoclast.
That's something, because it says if you're a 5 with a... Oh, it's a 4. So if you're a 4 at 4 wings, so you'll lean into a 4. That sucks. Enneagram 5 with a 6 wing, you're the problem solver.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I knew it had something to do with it's an iconoclast is a person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutions, a destroyer of images used in religious worship.
This explains you right here.
So it's kind of like a outlier, I suppose. Doesn't conform to
this breaks it down.
Nonconformist.
Being a 5 means always needing to learn to take in information about the world. A day without learning is like a day without sunshine. That's what one guy said because he's a 5. He's not saying you would say that. It's kind of weird. He's a painter or a graphic designer, so it makes sense. But like that, I could see that how you are. Like, could you take in podcasts daily that are not just silly like ours or banter?
I mean, I'm constantly reading articles and stuff all the time.
Look, here's one. This one here is dealing directly with physical matters can be extremely daunting for 5s. Just listen. I just found this is great. Henry is a life scientist working in a major medical research lab. Since I was a child, I have shied away from sports and strenuous physical activity whenever possible. I was not able to climb ropes in the gym class, stop participating in sports as soon as it was feasible. And the smell of a gymnasium still makes me uncomfortable. Like, I've had a very active mental life. So you're like a lazy piece of shit, but you're smart.
I mean, a 5 is like your typical, stereotypical fucking nerd.
Yeah, but not
like
you're not a
gangly nerd.
You're not
I'm not
awkward, weird nerd. You're just a smart cat. Like, dude, I need to have Crunk take this tomorrow. This is great.
So I think I'm probably.
This is pretty. I do like how though when you stress, you become me.
Yeah, I noticed that. So I noticed that we are literally like on the I don't know if we're on the opposite spectrum, I suppose, but we're very similar. So because mine says or yours says like you're a 7, and so whenever you're at your best, you're me, a 5.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm at my worst, I'm you.
You're me, right? And then when I want to be better, I'm you.
Right. It's the craziest fucking thing.
I've done some good things here. I like how your key motivation is wanting to possess knowledge, understand the environment, which that's bullshit. You don't care about that.
Well, I don't think they mean environment as in like
understand
tree hugger.
Your environment. Like I get, they meant like your surroundings.
Yeah, which is true.
So it's also having everything figured out as a way of defending the self from threats from the environment. Yeah. The meaning of arrows. That's moving the direction of a distant direction.
When I read that one, that's the reason why I generally don't approach. So in the dating world, right? I generally don't approach somebody unless I already have information that it's probably going to work out. Oh, that's a good shot.
You guys don't like surprise.
So I like to have the information. I have to gather information first, and then I'm like, okay, now I understand the situation, the environment, and so now I can engage with the environment or the situation without being caught off guard and injured, like it says.
I like how
Totally makes sense.
people hear examples of Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Vincent van Gogh, George O'Keeffe, Salvador Dali.
Yeah, everybody
A
that's
lot of
probably
painters. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates.
everybody that's probably on the fucking autism spectrum.
Even the gorilla lady, Jane Goodall's on there. I could see y'all have a lot in common. Jodie Foster.
Of the accused?
No, not that one. What is it?
Contact.
Yeah, not that. What's the other one she's in? That's so good. Silence of the Lambs. That's the one
Yeah,
I'm referring to.
there we go.
The
Yeah,
Alabama
Clarice.
cop, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it says
All right.
here. And also Fox Mulder from the X-Files.
Yeah.
Yep. And House, the fictional character from
Yeah.
Dr. House.
People that are
Dude, you're like
they're highly
famous.
intelligent.
Yeah.
They're probably on the spectrum.
Stephen King.
They're fucked up when it comes to relationships. They're totally fucked up.
I don't know. You got a lot of weirdos. You're
A lot of weirdos.
You're like a part of this new cult.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you're better when you're stressed.
I'm you.
You're a lot better when you're stressed.
So I guess when I was on the party bus, was I stressed? Is that?
You didn't look stressed to me. You were so stressed you had to take your sleeves off.
Well, I think when they say stressed, I think it means I'm in an unhealthy level.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when I'm in a destructive behavior, I'm a woo guy on a bus. Well, I guess that's.
I like how it says here for me, I didn't read this part tonight. I have problems with impatience and impulsiveness.
Oh, we're gonna do you, so I'm gonna do you now.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Unless there's something else you want me to add to you. That's pretty much. I read that verbatim. I'm not surprised when you said you were a 5. It actually meant when I read it, the 5, I was like, yep. This is pretty accurate.
So did you get down to the levels? So do
hold on. Let me go back.
So let's do the levels. The levels are funny.
Hold on, I didn't see that part. Hold on. Oh, I did not see
so
this.
There's levels of this 1 through 9. 1 through
All right,
3.
here we go.
1 through level 1 through 3 is healthy levels. 4 through
so-
6 are average levels, and then your unhealthy levels are 7, 8, and 9. So you can read through these. You can just maybe do like at my.
Let's do your best.
You do at my best. Do
Become
like level 5,
visionaries.
which is kind of like in the middle, and then do like the worst, which is level 9.
Okay, level 1 is become visionaries, broadly comprehending the world while penetrating it profoundly. Penetration. Open-minded, take things in whole, in their true context, make pioneering discoveries and find entirely new ways of doing and perceiving things.
Boom.
That's of your best.
I'm an innovator.
Yeah, you're incredible.
An entrepreneur.
You're a content creator. So
right.
That's huge.
Exactly.
So we'll do average level 5. Increasingly detached as they become involved with complicated ideas or imaginary worlds, become preoccupied with their visions and interpretations rather than reality, are fascinated by offbeat, what is that? Esoteric subjects, even those involving dark and disturbing elements. Detached from the practical world, a disembodied mind, although high-strung and intense. I don't know what any of that shit means.
I'm around there. I'd say
You're
that's
at
probably
an
me
average level. Okay.
when I'm average. Maybe one of those average levels.
Okay.
And here's at my
hold on.
worst.
This is not good. This is level 9. Seeking oblivion. They make, not the video game, they commit suicide or have a psychotic break with reality. I've never read any of these, by the way. Deranged, explosively self-destructive with schizophrenic overtones generally corresponds to the schizoid, avoidant, and schizopal personality disorders. Am I saying that right?
Let me see it.
I can't fucking read today. Sorry, guys. That last one right there.
Where Mike's got? Yes, seeking oblivion.
Yeah, I
They
can know
make
the
it-
bottom last sentence. The bottom shit. The big words.
Corresponds to the schizoid, avoidant, and schizotypal personalities.
Okay, I said that way
Personality,
wrong.
yeah.
I can't. Sorry, guys. I'm not. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you either go from a visionary to killing yourself.
Yeah, or committing suicide, or full
I didn't
on
read these.
schizo.
I didn't read these on mine.
Yeah, so I'm going to read yours.
Yeah, I know, but still, I didn't know any of this was down here.
All right.
Oh, look. It says your type compatibility with other types.
Yeah. So all right. So if we did type 7 or do type 5 in relationship with type 7,
All
which
right.
is you.
I didn't know you could do this either.
Yeah, dude. It's the whole thing.
Okay.
Or you can do misidentification with other types. So you could do a 7 compared to a 5.
I really need to do some more homework because I didn't see any of this. Okay, cool. I didn't scroll all the way down. I'm a moron.
I mean, that we don't know. I don't read all those. That's like
No. I'm not either. I'm just saying.
Well,
Like, I
let's
didn't know
just
that was
on
here.
the show. I'll just do. We'll just do like kind of the basic things. We don't do a deep dive necessarily. People are more than welcome to go to EnneagramInstitute.com.
Oh, it didn't take that long. It's
all right. Let's do 7. So this is you.
That's me. I actually classified myself
Right.
as a 7,
And-
even attractiveness as well. 7.
Attractiveness, personality,
I'm a Clarksville 7.
and dick size. Right. I'm a 5 year 7. Okay.
If I had a 7 on me, I would do pictures of it on our podcast. That would be our title page. Him and the Weekend podcast, my dick.
Right. I have a 7-inch dick. That would be the name of the podcast. Right.
It's my curse to bear.
Exactly. Okay, so when I knew about this Enneagram thing, I work with somebody the person that turned me on to this Enneagram stuff is a 7. And whenever she was going through, like, I know her personality, whenever she was going through, I was like, this is Josh. This is Josh. 100%. So, and I guessed it, and you took the test a little bit ago, and boom, right on 7. So I'm getting good at this Enneagram stuff now.
You nailed it.
I got it. Also, 7s, I think, are probably the easiest to pick out.
After reading it, when I did, I was like, I could see it.
Yeah, they're probably I think 5s are pretty easy to pick out.
Those are easy.
I think 8s are also easy to pick out. And maybe 3s are. Some of them are very hard to discern just by meeting somebody a couple times. But like you, 100%, somebody meets you for the first time, pretty good guess that you're a 7, right? If I get to talking, probably people pick up really quickly that I'm probably a 5. But anyway, okay, so 7 is the enthusiast.
Mm.
Immediate perfect type. You are 100%. I call you a brand groupie for fuck's sake. What is a brand groupie other than an enthusiast?
That's true. I've been called that by other. I think Gage actually commented, so we need to save you at all costs, protect you at all costs.
Right. Exactly. Oh, that should be a good podcast title. Name is Brand Groupies. But anyway, that's actually a good idea. We'll talk after the show. I have an idea.
Copy that.
All right. Here's the type 7 in brief. 7s are actually the busy, variety-seeking type, spontaneous, versatile, acquisitive, and scattered. 7s are extroverted, optimistic, versatile, and spontaneous. Playful, high-spirited, and practical. They can also misapply their many talents, becoming overextended, scattered, and undisciplined. They constantly seek new and exciting experiences, but can become distracted and exhausted by staying on the go. They typically have problems with impatience and impulsiveness. Yes. Mm-hmm. At their best, they focus their talents on worthwhile goals, becoming appreciative, joyous, and satisfied sexually. I added that last part.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So 100%.
Oh,
100%.
As soon as it said impatience and impulsiveness.
100%, right?
Midlife crisis at 30?
Yes. Constantly seeking new and exciting experiences. I'm not necessarily always new, but you're always like, that's the reason why you want the experience. It's all about the experience. And it's usually high, not high octane experience, but like, it's not like just chill experience. It's like experience.
Yeah.
All right. So your basic fear is being deprived and in pain.
And FOMO.
The FOMO, right, is the deprivation part. Basic desire is to be satisfied and content sexually, to have their needs fulfilled sexually.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I want to say you're probably a wing 8. No, I mean, I don't know if you're really a realist. You might be more on the entertainer side.
That test I took had a graph that 2 pieces were stuck out. I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, I don't know. So this doesn't show your wing. I think you have to.
It's fine.
I'm not sure.
It's fine.
This shows only your stress and your growth. But anyway, you might be a wing 6. You might be more on the entertainer side. I mean, we are fucking creating a podcast, for God's sake.
That's true.
I don't know if you're a realist. Are you a realist? You think you probably maybe.
I like to consider myself a realist. It depends on the situations in my school of thought on what's happened, like whatever the situation is. I think
maybe you can be both. You can be a wing.
What is the entertainer?
Anyway, all right. So here's an examples or your key motivations is want to maintain their freedom and happiness, to avoid missing out on worthwhile experiences, FOMO, to keep themselves excited and occupied, to avoid and discharge pain. So when moving, that was the stress thing. I'm not going to go through all of that. Here's some examples of some people.
Oh, did you see this? No, man, keep going.
So here's some people that are 7s that would be the same personality as you. The 14th Dalai Lama,
Makes
Galileo, Mozart, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, Amelia Earhart.
Obviously.
There's some other JFK. He died.
Simon Cowell.
Right. Joe Biden. Boo. Sarah Palin. Oh, that was a weird one. Who else? Some weird. Ted Turner is an interesting one.
Oh, Steven Spielberg.
Elton John. Mick Jagger. He's cool. Fergie.
Dude, there's a lot of singers. Look at all of them.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Katy Perry. Wow. Sacha Baron Cohen. You're like Borat. Steven Spielberg. John Belushi.
Fred Astaire. I could see that.
We were talking about Joan Rivers earlier.
Goldie Hawn.
Yep. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers. You got a bunch of funny people.
I don't think
types.
Brad Pitt. I wouldn't have picked that.
I mean, he could be.
He's just weird in his interviews. I just don't get 7 vibes from him.
Well, I mean, I don't think 7s are necessarily means that they're super energetic. You're just an energetic 7. 7s are not necessarily the energetic types.
Robin Williams.
They're just enthusiasts, meaning that they, like I would bet that a bunch of adrenaline junkies are 7s.
Probably.
They're just searching for that experience to like keep.
Paris Hilton.
That's the reason why another thing that it said on here was like that's the personality type that is most likely to have an addictive personality because they keep searching for a next high.
The next high,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Brad Pitt probably falls in there, even though he's not like a super energetic dude. Robert Downey Jr., James Franco. See, you notice in this also a lot of actors and singers, performers.
Yeah.
Right.
Center of attention.
Center of attention. Probably all on drugs.
Charlie Sheen. So that's perfect.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, a lot of fucking celebrities.
A lot, dude. Even Larry King.
Yeah, mine were all a bunch of fucking dorks. I mean, smart and rich dorks, but
I like how it says here, they've named this personality type because 7s are enthusiastic about almost everything that catches their attention.
Boom. 100%, dude. Brain groupie, you just go all in. It's awesome.
That's true.
All right, so here's your level 1 7s. So this is you at your best, okay? You assimilate experiences in depth, making them deeply grateful and appreciative for what they have. Become awed by the simple wonders of life. Joyous and ecstatic imitations of spiritual reality, of the boundless goodness of life. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Right? All right, so here's you at an average level, which is where you're probably sitting most of the time, right? Unable to discriminate what they really need, become hyperactive, unable to say no to themselves, throwing self into constant activity, uninhibited, doing and saying whatever comes to mind, storytelling, flamboyant exaggerations, witty wisecracking, performing, fear being bored, in perpetual motion, but do too many things, many ideas, but little follow through.
That is 100% level 5 me right now.
Yeah, dude.
That is you could not. That's it. That's
right.
100%.
Put that on a fucking pillow.
I would wear that button on my jacket. That is right there, dude. That is super me right there. Fear of being bored all the time, like and then do too many things.
Right.
100%.
100%. Right. And
but little follow through.
I'm
a bitch about a lot of stuff.
100%. In perpetual motion. I like that. You were in perpetual motion
all the time. Yeah. This is right on the money. That's gonna be my new Instagram.
Yeah, dude.
Motif.
So, all right, level 9. This is where you're at your absolute worst. Okay, if you just like give in.
Oh my god.
Finally, their energy and health is completely spent. Become claustrophobic and panic-stricken. Often give up on themselves and life. Deep depression and despair. Self-destructive overdoses. Impulsive suicide. Generally corresponds to the bipolar disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
Yep. Not so much that...
you had the whole thing where you thought you were dying.
Well, not so much the impulse... I never had suicide thoughts, which I would open about that if I really did.
No, me neither.
I've never had those.
Mine also had suicidal ideation, but I've never had that. So I've never been
panic-stricken. I've had moments where I thought I was going to have a panic attack because of...
You had a midlife crisis at 30.
Right. And then corresponds to bipolar disorder. Like, my highs are really high, my lows are very low. Like, I have an anger issue. Like, so... Depression, not really. Despair and self-destructive.
No, this is when you're
tendencies.
But
5 is money. 5 is 100% accurate. Yeah, this is really cool. Like, I would encourage anyone to take this. I wish we could get a plug on this.
Yeah, you should read.
Shout out to Enneagram Institute.
Read through your whole thing. Like, you know, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I think
it's great.
I think it's useful.
Great. It's helpful.
You know, you kind of like learn about yourself a little bit. That you like, you know, I feel like it helps when you read this kind of thing. Sometimes we're in our own head and we're in our own way, and so seeing something written out about how you are
gives me a little direction.
It was like, oh shit, this makes total sense. Why I do the things that I do.
I use Truity. If anybody who you guys listen, it's Truity.com. Get on there. You can take the test for free. It doesn't take that long. It's 7 steps. No. You can pay to have a wider panel result. Yeah, but it'll give you at least what number you are. And then
you just need the number, and then go to
Enneagram Institute. Yeah,
to like flesh it
Jane,
out.
show me a photo.
I think I'm signed up for like emails as well. So like it gives you like daily things. It's almost horoscope-y a little bit.
Well, that's
more
okay.
like a horoscope, but at least it's backed by actual psychology. Like it's not you were born in January and you have this fucking moon sign. I mean that's fucking bullshit.
Shit.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. But
that was just fire talk.
This makes sense. Because if you ever read some of that stuff, this actually seemed a little bit more detailed. The horoscope stuff and your astrology, like that's super. If you ever read that stuff, it's super vague.
It's weird.
I'm not into that kind of crap. But
I do like this though. This test was cool. I'm definitely going to encourage this.
You're a believer.
It's because it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, I think so.
Like all those descriptions of me, especially that 5, that was. And I have all kinds of addictive personality. Like when I get involved in something I like I'm in it.
Yeah, when you're at your average level, your base.
I mean, like I called Kylie Wednesday. I went and test rode another motorcycle, which I get made fun of for being constantly I consider myself a part-time test rider because for one, it's cheaper and the bikes don't need to sit that long at the shop, so I ride them, and it's a blast. It's the point now where I just show up and it's outside, and they're like, just enjoy yourself, bring it back.
Right.
Because I tell them like if I wreck it, I'll buy it.
Right.
So I rode another Harley, which is probably my favorite street motorcycle. I love Harley, but I rode it and I called her. I was like, she's like, what are you doing? I said, I was like, let me just let you know something real quick. I was like, there is nothing better than pristine weather, classic rock music, and listening to the exhaust off of a Harley. Right. I mean, it is. I was listening to Kid Rock, cruising. You have to do it. I cannot. If I could bottle it and sell it, I would.
You were in your element.
It's the best. It is the best.
Right.
If I didn't have any sense, I would have bought that son of a bitch that day and walked home with it.
Right.
Or just rode it home.
That's your peg, and it filled your hole.
It's unreal. And I had those sunglasses on that she hates. Shout out Havoc. They've been taking care of me this year, but they have a particular pair of sunglasses. I'll let you see them real quick.
Yeah,
tell me what you think.
Are they Pit Viber like?
So Havoc does all my motocross goggles. Well, they have sunglasses as well. So I actually ended up giving Kylie quite a few pairs because I have a small face. Their sunglasses are small, and I have a big face. But I was wearing these, cruising down.
All right, Geordie LaForge.
Kylie, I put them on. She said, "You look like a douche." She's like, "You look like no, you're not wearing those."
If anybody can see these glasses,
I'll post them on our page.
They are perfectly flat.
Yeah.
Like there's no curve to them whatsoever.
They're amazing.
They're very boxy.
I rode in them.
Yeah, it looks like. Are you cosplaying in like as Blade Runner?
So I had that on, and I wore my half shell helmet, my real shallow one, with my headphones in.
Yes,
and those big ass glasses. Like
you look like an extra in The Fifth Element. That's what
I was. Lelu Dallas multipass. I had my little pass on. Yeah, dude, I wore those. So, and they look crazy, and I probably wouldn't wear them to like a school outing with Harper or anything, but like they're really comfortable and they deflect the wind really well. Like so.
They're very orange.
They're very orange. They're very loud, which I like normally, but though they are, I'll have them on in Vegas. You'll see them. That's where I can look like an asshole.
Okay.
Because no one knows who I am.
Yeah, in Vegas, I've got. We're all planning to wear cabana outfits.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wear a floral like short sleeve button down.
Of course.
Thing,
now are you doing
chest open?
2 buttons down or 3?
3. I'm gonna go deep with it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm showing off the hairs.
Okay.
And then shorts.
You doing a 6-inch inseam or 5?
I'm not gonna wear flip flops because I don't want to get
raped.
Right, but I'll wear some like deck shoes or something.
I have those like these.
Boom, like those.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be my look, and maybe I need to wear some of those. Now I don't know if they would fit the cabana.
I get those discounted. We have multiple choices.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
I might peruse their wares.
I don't think I'm gonna do all. I mean, I'm I don't think I'm gonna. We're not.
Well, I'm doing that.
My
with the work
group's
crew.
not doing an
The
outfit.
work. Okay, yeah, work crew's.
We're
doing
probably
that.
not gonna mingle together. I would imagine a whole lot.
Yeah.
So there might be some moments, but I imagine I'll probably end up staying with y'all.
Yeah, I imagine that group would be wearing a lot of khakis going on. I'm not even wearing khakis. I'm not even going to bring my khakis.
A lot of early bed. I would think
it'd be jeans and beachwear.
Oh, I already asked what can I wear, and it was actually I got pretty good feedback. It was like just whatever. I said good. Well, I'm wearing my Gap shorts.
Yeah,
we're gonna kick it. I told him we wore shorts to that last conference.
I might dust off that sleeveless jean shirt that I was wearing.
Please bring that. I'll get one. I'll make mine, but I want it to be ironed and starched.
Oh yeah,
so
I ironed that one and I didn't starch it, but I had
the picture was impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I enjoyed it. There's something I don't know. There was something freeing about a sleeveless shirt. It felt good. That's not an area the sun touches very often.
I used to be weird. I'm still kind of weird about wearing tank tops and like being shirtless. Unless it weirds me. I don't know. It's just because for one, every time I do it, every time I have my shirt off at home, my daughter likes to call me out and be like, "Why are you naked?" Every time I do it. I was outside washing the truck. Dad, why are you naked? And it's just like, I'm not naked.
Yeah.
So I don't want her to go to school and be like, my dad was naked washing the truck. I looked at Kyle and said, do you know how crazy it would look if I was truly naked washing my truck? You know how gross that would look? I have an all-white truck. I'm pale. It would look like a weird photo shoot.
The adults at school or teacher doesn't have any other additional information except
my dad was naked in the driveway.
She doesn't know what that means exactly. It could be 100% true. Maybe you were naked washing your truck.
Dude. And shoes.
Right.
You know how weird that would be?
You're just out there shirt cocking it.
Just shirt.
Washing your truck. Have you ever done that before? It is so... I've done that before.
Porky Pig in it?
So I've woken up before and like just, after post shower and just put the shirt on first and then I just kind of walk around a little bit. It is such a weird feeling.
Yeah, so it's funny you bring this up. Now we're going to get in our normal disgusting talk because it's funny. Other day
I feel like such a jackass.
The other day I was, I think I was going to weigh myself and I had just a shirt on. So I was getting undressed to get in the shower. Well, I just stopped for a second to do something. Yeah. I think I dropped my watch. Well, I just had a t-shirt on. No bottom. So I bent down to get my watch, and I was like, "This is the grossest position I could ever be in."
This is a weird looking scene.
Like it's terrible. Like low hanging fruit. I'm just like I look like a primate. Like I should be digging in the trash can. It's so weird.
Exactly
I don't ever walk by the mirror,
especially if you have like a shirt that is just it's
a cocktail.
It's long enough to where it covers up most of your dick except for like the tips, just like hanging down a little bit, and you're like, this looks fucking ridiculous.
It looks like a weird bird of some kind that got like defeathered.
Like peeking, like hello.
It was one that was about to be cooked, but it survived. That's what it looks like. And the worst too is when you turn around and walk, and you just get like bottom cheeks.
Yeah, right.
It's just like, oh god, this is awful looking. That's why I always had a fear of like people that sleep naked. I'd be the one that would be like a fire, and you'd be adrenaline pumped so much you would forget you were naked and run outside.
Right.
There's no coming back from. I can't run back in and get clothes on.
That is the single reason why I stopped doing that. So I got turned on to sleeping completely naked because it's supposed to be
supposed to be good for you. It is.
It regulates your temperature
it's
better.
Backed up by science.
You actually get better sleep apparently if you sleep naked.
And also if you have a partner, which I don't like that word, but I'm going to use it.
More often than not.
If both of you are, you are more
likely
to have coitus.
Right. There's no taking off the clothes.
Exactly. And your skin touches. It just happens, and it's cool.
Yeah. And so that was also part of it too.
Right.
But then I was thinking, I can't remember. I think it was something I ended up getting up in the middle of the night for. And it just hit me. I was like, what if this was a fucking emergency? And I'm like fumbling around trying to like find something to put on. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be prepared. But if I at least had underwear on, I'd have no problem running out of the house. Oh, no,
of course not.
Just standing outside.
It's just a little shorts.
It's fine. It's whatever.
A little tight shorts.
Right, exactly. A little Ranger panties or whatever.
That's all it is.
But, if I'm fumbling around trying to find something, like it's going to be whatever. So I stopped doing that just for that one reason.
Yeah, I've never been confident in myself to be like, I've had people I've known that can be naked, like, it doesn't bother them at all. Even if I just can't, I don't know, like they do those nude beaches and shit I've heard people doing. I'm like, I can't hang out.
Those fucking communities that are naked,
cannot
like doing
hang out
things
with my friends. That'd be like you and I doing this podcast naked.
Mm-hmm.
I just could not. No, I don't like being naked in front of my wife. I just don't like being
those
naked.
Communities that are nudist colonies or whatever. They're like doing jobs. They're like gardening naked.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then talking about the weather, like them old
Right.
dudes in the gym. I
Yeah.
just can't. Like, I'll never forget. I walked in. There was an older gentleman. He was pretty old. I mean, shout out to him for being at the gym still. He had his leg up on a bench with a hairdryer, blowing off his sack, talking about the game that was on the night before to another man that was sitting on a bench, ball level with his face.
Right.
He's blowing himself
And-
with a hairdryer.
having a conversation like this guy isn't airing
He was
out
still
his
in his
balls.
shower shoes.
Yeah.
Flip flops up, dick up, blow drying them. I mean, they were, like a Cornish hen being just blown around. Yeah. No big deal. I have never developed, maybe it comes with age, you develop that kind of confidence.
Probably.
I just can't do it. Now, that technique of blow drying, spot on. It works great. I can't do it in an open forum.
That 100% has to probably personality too, but for him specifically, but
He was
probably has to do it with age because I feel that a little bit. As I'm getting older, I care less and less about what people think.
I had this. I had a conversation. I think it was me and Kyler were talking. I said something. I was like, I guess with age you start to. No, it was Ari Spears. I shared it with you guys. Where as he gets older, he said you get to a point where you're just set and you just say what's on your mind. You just don't give a shit. I don't think I'm quite that far into it yet, but I can see how. Like obviously now that I'm in my 30s, like I probably think and say things that I wouldn't have said in my 20s. Probably that makes sense. But I haven't got to where I can be like full on old man status. You got to earn that shit.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're no longer building anything. You're not like, working towards.
But also,
anything.
you get that.
All your relationships are pretty. You're not really developing new relationships.
Well, you get a backboard of he's just old.
Yeah,
he's just old. You don't worry about him. He's just old. He's an old asshole.
Yeah, you can just fall. Even if you're not senile, you'd be like, he's just senile.
He's just fucking old.
Whatever.
I haven't got that yet.
I don't know.
I hope to one day achieve that. And now I do have some people I know that are like that now at our age.
Yeah,
that will just say whatever.
Your brother's that way.
Yeah, sometimes it gets him in trouble a little bit.
I see that has nothing to do with age. That's just full on personality.
It's just personality type. He'll let you know.
Yeah,
and it's not like he's a dick about it. He's just very analytical and just like he'll just say it. Sometimes sometimes he'll get in a spot where he's like all bark. So sometimes you got to like reel it in a little bit. So it's going to be like, hey, yo.
I think when I get super old, I think I'll probably just say less.
I could see that.
So sometimes I feel like I think now I care less about what people think in general, but I still like people to know what I think.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do. That makes sense.
So I think maybe, and I don't know where that comes from. I guess I just like to voice my opinion. But if as I get older, I'll probably lose that more and more. Where I was like, you don't need to know my opinion. Fuck you. That's probably going to be me at a super old age. I'll just keep everything to myself and only tell like people like you or
right.
wife if I ever have one.
That makes sense.
That kind of thing. Just people close to me, but I'm not going to let my thoughts just spill out because I think I have had that problem before, to where sometimes I'm like, I probably should have just kept that one to myself. You know what I mean? It's like I need to tell this person I just met 2 hours ago what I just like. That they didn't need that information. You know what I mean?
Nah, probably not.
I think I've done that a couple of times, more than a couple of times. So probably as I get older, I'm mature into keeping some stuff to myself.
I'm still psyched about that test though.
That
was cool.
I knew you'd probably like it.
That was cool. Because I've actually caught myself here too, where I have to focus in on something. Because like the motorcycle, for example, like I look for things like that was my day off from the gym. Like I have to. Always, if I don't go to the gym, I beat myself about it. Like it bothers me. It'll bother me all day. Like if I have to do something because, for one, I think I'll get fat or I'll be too skinny. Those are my two biggest fears. Like it's weird. I can't help it. But like that Wednesday was my off day. So I was like, I'm going to go ride a motorcycle. Just that hour. Like I've even considered buying other vehicles to make my 6-minute drive to work funner.
Oh yeah.
More fun. Like it's fucked up. Like the worst thing that I told, not the worst thing, but the wildest shit I told somebody when I was working from home. They're like, how is it? And I was like, well, put it this way. Me being a 7 now that I know, I went and test drove vehicles so I could talk to a salesperson. Just so I could ride in the car with somebody.
It's the reason why you call people.
I call people, which I've been slacking here lately about it. But I have a tattoo appointment coming up next month. So I'll call somebody for that 45-minute drive. Yeah, like I constantly look for, like there's that app you can do where you randomly have chats with people. I don't know what it's called. It's something. You know what I'm talking about? They have the clips where like the Kermit the Frog pulls out his. It's the cucumber.
Those videos are so funny.
I love those videos, but I don't know what those are called.
Oh shit! I just had it. Chat roulette.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But I don't know. I don't want to do that because I don't want to like see something weird. Like I like the guy that calls out pedophiles, like those old men, and he'll be like, "Yeah, what do you think about these? Those are nice titties." And he was like, "Yeah, you like my big old dick?" And he was like,
right,
like that,
trapping people.
But yeah, I've gotten to where I've gone through contacts.
I think then you're a wing on the entertainer side because that definitely not a realist. I think you're more on the entertainer because the fact that you feel compelled to engage with other humans pretty much all the time.
Yeah, FOMO was real.
Is an entertainer thing.
Like I joked about on our last episode where I was acting like a dick because George y'all had that party. As soon as I saw his pictures, I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Like I can't help it. I want to be there.
Oh, you would have matched my energy 100%.
Yeah, I want to be involved. That's probably why when I met Gage on the show too, when you were like, yeah, I could see this because he's the same way. Obviously, he's situation's a little different for his day to day, but like,
yeah, I was the odd one out during that episode.
It's relatable just because you want to be, and he's I think worse than me. Like he gets involved in everything. Like I think he's gonna start doing jiu-jitsu now. And I get it. Like I picked up archery because they all do it.
Yeah.
Like you just want to be in everything because cool people are doing it.
Right.
Same with podcasting. Like I follow tons of podcasts that I want to be can you stop fucking yawning?
Sorry.
Am I boring you?
I'm crashing.
Hold on a second. Stay at your 5. Stay at that level. Right. I'm almost done. Let me reel it in. Fuck,
shit's so just fucking boring.
It's boring shit. I've done bored myself. Forgot what I was talking about. Fucking ranting. Anyways,
how the turntables. I feel like most of the time I'm boring you.
No. I'm good. That test was really. That was exciting. Well, we brought that up before we started. But I was just like,
I knew you would like that because
I forgot what I was talking about.
Because you were you're like because you mentioned stuff like that before where you're you're like trying to pinpoint certain things that you want to change or do better with or whatever. I was like, well. It's hard to do. Sometimes it's hard to do that unless you actually understand how you work.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it helps. I've heard Jordan Peterson has a personality quiz too because he's a clinical psychologist.
My dad.
And he talks about that. One thing he says is like, in order before you can like go out and like affect the world, you need to know. You need to work on yourself and improve that's how you better the world is by bettering yourself, and you can't do that unless you know how you are. You have to understand yourself in order to be able to make changes. I mean, it makes total sense.
I mean, it's like
if you're remodeling a house, you need to know how the structure is. You don't just go in there and start taking out walls without understanding the structure.
I mean, I dabble in this daily. Like my social media on my personal one is me hyping up, and I try to support everything that I like, obviously, but people in general. Yeah. Like whether it be tattoo artists or hat makers or boot makers or anything cool like. Or I recently started following some stunt guys who do Harley stunt stuff. Actually, some of them, they've been here locally. And just stuff that I'm like, it's just cool shit people are doing. I'm like, I have to let the world know about this. Or my 500 followers.
That's when I understood how your mind works when it comes to like just people's vibe. It's not necessarily like what they're selling or what they're doing. It's just all about the vibe, the experience as a seller.
I want it to feel good.
Is whenever you like started posting stuff about Daisy May now of 3 Horses, and I'm like, I've literally never fucking seen you ever wear a hat like that.
Nope.
Why are you into this dude with hats?
Yep.
That you would never fucking wear.
Yep. Same about boots, like Dustin
right.
on Bowen's boots. Same thing.
I've never seen you.
I have 2 pairs of boots, and I wore them when I hunt, and then I have a pair that I wore some in Vegas when we went.
Right.
But like, I don't wear those kind of boots.
No.
And I've met him 3 or 4 times now, and it's that whole genre of people. Like I'm trying to get hooked up with these motocross guys too that I told you about that I was trying to get on and do a collab with. Some of them have podcasts, but yeah, like it's a whole my decal guy, Sean, that does all my decal like the last 9 years. I could talk to him on the phone all day. He's got a vibe himself too. Like they're just I don't care what they're doing. It's just addictive shit. And I've said that before. I can't.
You've joked and said, I was like, I don't care if it's fucking competitive basket weaving. If you're having a good time, I want to have a good time.
I want to have a good time too.
I want when you say that as a joke about whatever, because you usually say that whenever we're doing something that we hate doing and it's boring and everyone's low energy, and you'll say something like that. It's 100% accurate. If somebody was like some dude came along and he was like doing competitive basket weaving, but he was just jazzed about it,
I want to be there.
You would be like, oh, yes.
Yep.
And then you'd be buying baskets and weaving baskets the next day.
Yep. I'm a loser. Weird as shit.
It's awesome.
It is. It's something.
It's awesome. you really should go into marketing.
So I actually
PR,
I told my boss that we got to talking about. I'm not going to bore everyone with that, but we got to talk about works and future and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I said if I do anything else, it won't be in this field that I'm in. It'll be. And I actually signed up for marketing classes to go for. I do comfortable too. I actually signed up for some PR marketing stuff to look because it won't necessarily be in the field we're in, but I would love to obviously go that direction.
Yeah.
So, whatever. We'll see what happens. This hopefully will. This satisfies a lot of my PR stuff and like I've been since you're doing so much of our tech stuff and all that. I have to get involved in making contacts and trying to dive in everybody's DMs.
And
which, by the way, Alan Richardson, if you need to answer your shit, is that his name? I probably said it wrong.
Rickson.
Hold on.
I don't think it's Richardson.
Hold on, it's something. Hold on.
It's the dude that plays Reacher. He was also on Blue Mountain.
It's
State.
Richardson, right there.
Richardson. Yeah, Richardson.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, I've reached out to him twice now, but he can't respond because it says here
that he's too famous.
No, that's not what it says at all. It says that they have to accept the invite. He hasn't seen it yet. So I didn't want to be.
You can't just DM Colt. You
can DM them, but they have to.
You have to accept the message.
You have to. Your invite is accepted. So I'm going to give it a little more time, but I also follow his wife. So if he doesn't answer, I'm going to message her.
Is his wife famous?
Kind of. She has 30,000 followers. He has 942,000.
Okay.
And I don't want to be weird and be like, "Hey, your husband's being a dick and he's ignoring me."
Right. So but being that their follower count is different, she's only got 30,000. The odds of her
responding are better.
Seeing exactly. Better. So you're playing the odds.
And the reason what I want is because
so the next we have to do is you have to like find their kid, and if they have kids, and if the kids.
I thought about that too, but I don't want to get too creepy. I mean, I will hunt you down, but you can't put yourself out there if you don't want to accept message. I have a feeling that if I was that famous, I would answer the non-creepy shit.
Or you do find a photo on her Instagram of like where she's going on like a girl trip with one of her friends, and then find the friend's Instagram who probably has like 1,000 followers, right? Because she's nobody.
I've done that.
And then DM the friend,
and
say, hey, tell your wife's husband to
check his messages.
Message me.
Well, I was going to message her. I had this thing. Look, I was one of those nights where I was bored. I was going to be like, hey, not to be awkward, but your husband's ignoring me. I DM'd him, and I need him to answer. Whether it just says, fuck off, I need you to answer.
Just keep going the six degrees of separation until you find somebody that only has like 1,000 followers.
That's right.
And then DM them, and then work your way up.
I don't want anything from him. I just want an hour of his time.
Right.
I don't want any money. I just want you to come on. I want to talk. He opened up one of those episodes he did on a podcast, and I was like, dude, I want you on. Like, I want you to come hang out.
Right.
That's all it is. I don't want anything from you. Right. I'm not going to pay you to come on. You make enough money. You don't need more money.
Just a phone call. We can get you on just a phone call.
Do an Instagram call.
Right.
Like you can do whatever. Or come down and hang out.
Whatever.
I'll feed you.
Right.
That's all I can offer. I can take you for a ride. You can ride my dirt bike. That's all I can do. I don't have a lot of money. We can go get a tattoo together if you want to. That's funny. But I can't pay for it.
If that actually works, I mean, you should really try that. Try to if the 30,000 with the wife doesn't work, then go lower. Try to find a friend of the wife.
I can get low
and keep going till you find.
I'm not saying anything to catch a restraining order, but by God, how do you know? How do you know if you really want somebody on your show? How else would you get them on? Well, I have to ask.
Look, that podcaster / comedian chick that is blowing up the internet right now, Bobby Althoff. Bobby Althoff. Just a little housewife, 2 kids, like nothing fucking special. She does have a shtick. Her shtick is that she does really awkward interviews by just being awkward and
I don't like it.
I don't like it. It's not my type. I don't get it.
It's not enjoyable.
It's not my cup of tea. But apparently
it's popular.
So she just there's somebody, I can't remember who it was, that she just asked like, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And he said, "Yeah." And I don't even know who the fuck this guy was.
Scott sent it to me.
Something low level.
I can't remember.
But then that low level guy ended up getting her connected with little Marco, who's a comedian who's kind of been on the internet, and he has the same kind of dry, awkward delivery and interview style as she does. So he thought it would be fun for Bobby Althoff and little Marco to interview each other because they have the same kind of like personality, kind of like shtick. And so he did that. Then Drake.
Yep.
Ended up seeing that interview of her and little Marco, liked it. So Bobby Althoff was like, Drake liked my shit, started following me, straight up just DM'd him. He saw it and said, yeah, I'll interview with you. And then she is interviewing Drake in his bed, doing her awkward interview, and that's where she blew the fuck up. So like, it can work.
It can, and I watched it, and it's not my cup of tea. No. I mean, hats off to her. I will give credit where credit is due. It's not the kind of show I want to watch, and I like Drake.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know if people. It's the awkwardness of it. To me, it comes off kind of rude. I think it's not entertaining for me.
Right. I'm uncomfortable when I watch it.
I just don't enjoy it. I feel like you'd have a better time on my show.
Right. But I guess that maybe that is the appeal, is because it is so offbeat, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? That you're kind of like compelled to watch because you're trying to figure out, why are people watching this?
Yes. Like what I want if I could have a celebrity on is I don't want to do we'll do the normal stuff too. Like I don't want it to be like, well, what inspires you? I want to be like basic stuff like what's your favorite restaurant your wife go to? Like basic, bring it down to like a normal person and not all the basic.
Yeah, I mean,
what made you want to act? Like I want to do some of that obviously because that's why they're on.
They've already done a bajillion of those interviews.
Just come on and shoot the shit.
I just want to like have somebody that I don't even really care. I don't really care that they're famous. There's probably only a few people that actually would starstruck me.
I want to see if they're.
But I just want to like
as cool as I think they would be.
Right. I just want to like hang out.
Or you may be an asshole.
Shoot the shit and like let's just me being a 5 and analytical. I just want to like delve into their brain. Like give me some. Let's talk about some shit.
Yeah, like
what are your thoughts on this?
Me being a 7, what gets you hyped up?
Right.
Let's see if your vibe is as cool as I think it would be.
Obama sucking dick in the White House. Give me your thoughts. You know that.
He's like, I saw it. Right. They did it.
Right. Exactly.
I was there. Right. Something. Like, I'm going to keep trying. Like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, I don't know how else you would. And I've reached out to a couple of famous folks that I think are famous in a different realm of not acting, but action sports or something else. And they've answered back. Like, I've gotten responsive from people, but their schedules are a lot crazier than mine. Like they do a lot of traveling, so it's, I don't know how serious they're really taking me when I ask, but like I'm pretty serious. But like I want you guys to come on, and I don't need a week of your time. It's just an hour or two, whatever time you can give me.
Yeah.
Hell, even if I go on that dude, and he was like, I can give you 30 minutes. Great,
cool.
I can make that work.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. You gotta start somewhere. You start low, and then you work your way up. And you're good at that. And just straight up engaging people. I'm
gonna stay on him. That's the one that I really want on because that's who's recently I thought is just a cool, down-to-earth guy. I mean, obviously, I tried Chris Pratt, but he's not going to answer.
Keep going until
I tried. Well,
restraining order.
Now they have this new thing where I can't keep sending the same message. Before, I would copy and paste.
Yeah, but it's not like Bobby Althoff didn't go straight to Drake. She started. I
need to find some. I need to go to his wife.
Right.
I'll just let him know. I hate to go over your head, but you're not answering.
I'm going for the wives. Josh is coming for your wives.
Yeah, I thought you were the head of your household, but
you're
not.
Famous people.
Yeah, listen, I'm coming
answer
for
your
wives.
messages, or there's going to be a dude in your wife's DMs.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And if your kids are of age, I may hit their DMs. Right, exactly. Fucking watch it.
Right. Your friends, your cousins, your parents.
Studio rep, agent.
Exactly. He's coming for people you know, is what he's doing. He's coming to their DMs.
And we can avoid all this if you just fucking answer me.
Right, exactly. Let's cut out the middleman here.
I'm sick of it.
Fuck. All right, well, I guess on that note, we probably
let's get the hell out of here.
Cut this thing.
If you guys don't mind, like, follow, and also I'm going to post a new subscription page we have, so you can sign up for a monthly subscription with us as low as $3, as high as $10. And it's not like I'm not begging for your money, but it does help us do more production value on the show, get new equipment, and also have hopefully bigger guests on if we get some production value with it. But it's just, and if you do subscribe, even for the $3 one, we can do a shout out. If you have a business, we'll shout your business out. We can do plugs on all that. So, if you can, that'd be great. If not, still follow and share if you get time. You have time. Share it on Instagram. We post one. I have been getting more. I appreciate you guys. Everybody also who's been listening up until this 50th one, right? 51. Excuse me. We do really appreciate it. It's super fun. If anybody also, don't forget to message us if you want to come on the show or have anybody that you'd like to hear on the show. If you have some famous friends you want on the podcast, help me help you.
Right.
So, yeah. Also, rate us on Apple and Spotify. Give us a rating. Leave us a little message if you want to. I don't even care if it's a bad one. If you want to leave some negativity, that's fine too. But I'd like all the, attention would be great.
You remember there was a few episodes, this is a long time ago, like from some of our earlier episodes, we wanted to try to get some sponsors. Like I still kind of want to do a sponsor like spot. So if anybody's
I've been working on that too.
Yeah. So if anybody out there has got, and honestly, I would like to just do a sponsor thing, even if you don't pay us.
Oh yeah, just for the first couple, if you want to send us like hats or a sticker or even something minimal, if we think it's cool,
We'll
whatever,
hype you up. If you want to send us a readout for your thing, and we'll read it out. We'll do a whole ad readout. Even you don't even have to pay us. I just kind of want to do an ad readout, and of course, if it's for a business or a product or service that I think is worthwhile, I'm not going to plug something that I don't selling people snake oil bullshit or whatever, but dick pills and whatever. But actually, I'd do that anyway. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, actually, horny goat weed. Send me a letter.
Whatever, send it. I'll do your ad readout for free.
Yeah,
first one's free.
Yeah, or like I said, DM me any ideas you think would make the show better, or any questions you want, or anything we can talk about. Just send it. We're an open forum. Send it to us.
Yeah, man.
I'm on Instagram.
You're
probably more than I should be a daily.
Yeah,
so
me
send
too.
It to me.
Me too.
But anyways, appreciate you guys listening. Episode 51 will be out tomorrow. That's the end.
Peace.